Hello, everyone, and welcome to Life Interrupted, where we talk about real life experiences about death and grief. Please be advised that since we do talk about death and grief, some of the content may trigger some emotional responses. In this episode, we're going to talk about 12 things you should never say to a grieving person. These are common sayings that people speak when they encounter someone going through the loss of a loved one. Most of the time, people do not mean to be rude or offensive, but we really do a poor job as humans in helping people to know how to talk about death and grief. So let's get started. So number one, everything happens for a reason. This can feel very dismissive of the grieving person's pain, and although many people believe things happen for a reason, we don't want to hear that. And one of the things that we want to know is, what was the reason? Why did I lose the one I loved? Only God can give us the reason. But in the midst of the pain of having lost someone we really love, we don't care what the reason is. We just hurt. Number two, they're in a better place. Even though this is true, it doesn't ease the pain of losing someone and the ache of them no longer being there. Even if the person we lost was very sick and in pain, and we knew they were going to pass away, and we know they're out of pain, grief isn't just about the one we've lost. It's about the pain of living without them. Number three, at least anything that follows these words will never help the grieving person. This minimizes the loss and tries to reframe the pain too quickly. I remember calling someone after my friend committed suicide, and they said, "We tried to help them." I was in shock and couldn't believe what they were implying. Number four, I know exactly how you feel. No. No two journeys are the same because no two people are the same. Even similar losses are not the same. After my husband passed, one of the widows at church told me I knew what she was feeling, but I didn't because our marriages were different. We are different. No one knows exactly how the grieving person actually feels. Number five, time heals all wounds. Time doesn't heal. It teaches us how to live with our wounds. It also puts pressure on the grieving person to feel better eventually. And when the grieving person has not gotten better according to someone else's gauge, then comes comments like, number six, you'll get over it. Grief is not something to get over. It implies that what we have lost was something that we need to get past or put behind us. We do not ever get over. We move forward carrying that person's memory with us. And they will always be with us because they were part of our lives and helped to shape who we are. Number seven, you need to stay strong. Grieving people do not need strength. They need permission to fall apart. Yes, we do need to be strong for those around us, like our children, but we also need to remember that we can fall apart and cry and yell at God if we need to. Then there are those things people say when we have lost children. Number eight, God needed another angel. This may sound comforting, but it can actually be harmful. It can create spiritual confusion in the young and make God look like a selfish ogre who wanted someone with him more than we needed them. Not to mention, human and angels are two different beings. Humans, not even babies, turn into angels in heaven. Number nine, it's okay. You can have another child. Another hurtful thing people say. Having another child does not take the place of the child we have lost, nor heal the wound we have from losing that child. And people don't know. This may have been that one person's shot at having a child because of reproductive problems. Even if they can have another child, it is still a very insensitive thing to say to someone who is hurting. Number 10, sometimes children are just too beautiful for this earth. This is another insensitive thing to say. When someone says this, they are implying that the children that are still here are not beautiful. we're not needed or wanted by God. Again, you are talking to someone who has just lost their child. Nothing we say can help with that pain. And then there are some things that people say to try to help, but they don't realize the grieving person just cannot hear it right now. Number 11, when I lost I heard this a lot after my husband passed. People wanted to try to understand or relate, but what that does is take the attention off the grieving person's pain and put it on their own experience. People say this to help, but they are just avoiding the grieving person's pain. Now, if they're saying it and it precludes some useful information, that's fine, but most do not. And number 12, call me if you need anything. Although this sounds supportive and helpful, it really isn't. The grieving person is only thinking about their pain. They really cannot think about anything else. There is a condition called grief brain, and it makes it difficult to concentrate or know what you need or to even do daily activities. If you truly want to help. Or ask someone who has lost someone and see what you can do for the grieving person. When my husband passed, one of my daughters drove many miles every day for a week and brought me healthy food she knew I would eat. Bringing food for them and their family is very helpful. No one wants to think about cooking at a time like that. Then there's the worst thing that you can do, not say anything at all. I mean, not even acknowledging their loss or grief, especially when we expect to hear something from someone we thought was close to us and they say nothing. It hurts because they are avoiding our pain. One of my dear friends didn't even show up for my late husband's funeral. It still hurts knowing that they were not there. So we have gone through all of these. You may be asking, okay, I know what not to say. What should I say instead? There are those canned comments such as, I'm sorry for your loss, you are in my prayers, and my condolences, which are all fine, especially if you are not really close to the one who passed or their family. Sometimes the most honest thing you can say is simply, death sucks. This is what I say to people. It lets them know that death sucks and it hurts and it is crap. I remember when one of my dear friends lost their spouse, I went to them and told them to let God have it. Death was never meant to be a part of life, and that is why it hurts so much when it happens. Death sucks, and it is okay to cry and be selfish along your grief journey. The best thing that you can do for a grieving person is to just listen. Check on them via text or phone call or whatever, and let them cry or yell or just talk. I remember after my husband passed, a friend of mine asked if he could call. All I did was cry on the phone to him. He listened, and then we said our goodbyes. Another thing we can do to help a grieving person is be patient. Give them time to grieve. Give them space to grieve. Understand that this is a very long journey. Grieving never stops. It just becomes something that we learn to carry with us. Well, those are the 12 things that I could think of. If you have any that you would like to send to me or that people have said to you that seem to be insensitive, then please send them to me. My email is in the link below or the comments below. But remember that as long as mankind has been around, we are still having difficulty talking about grieving and death. We still have difficulty knowing what to say, what to do for that grieving person. And sometimes, trust me, it is okay to ask that person, can I do this for you? It's okay to ask, do you want to talk about it? Do you want me to leave you alone? Ask the person what they need. What can I do for you? Can I bring you food? Can I mow your lawn? Can I go clean your house? I know one of my friends has a church congregation that when one of the widows loses a husband, they actually assign a woman to go and be with her and stay in her house for a little while, to sleep in the bed beside her, because it is very shocking to have someone around for 20, 30, 40, 50, maybe even 60 years, and then all of a sudden, they're just gone. The house feels very empty, and your life feels very empty. So even if it means just going over to their house and sitting with them for a little while, chatting with them, having dinner with them, it's okay to ask the person, what can I do for you? And give them some options. Can I bring some food? Can I go sit with you? Can I take you out to dinner? Can I accompany you to a doctor's appointment? Can I drive you someplace? Things that having a partner, usually that partner takes care of. Can I fill up your gas tank? Whatever it is, sometimes those little bitty things mean a huge help. So there you have it. Thank you very much for joining me. And please let me know if you have any questions about this video or any others. I do have a video about grief brain. Please check that out. And I will see you next time. Thank you very much.